Happy Friday, everybody. X-Man 1991 back again with another video. We are continuing celebrating 25 years of these classic albums, week after week after week. This is what, week number 3, celebrating 25 years of these classic albums. We actually have 3 that are turning 25 today. So without wasting any more time, let's get to the first album. Here it is. November 19th, 1996. Four-time NBA champion and Basketball Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal released his third album, You Can't Stop the Rain. It features productions from the likes of DJ Quick, the Trackmasters, the infamous Mobb Deep, Easy Mobb, and of course Shaq Diesel himself. The album was moderately successful, peaking at number 82 on the Billboard 200 and number 21 on the top R&B/hip hop albums chart. The 2 singles from the album are Straight Playin' and You Can't Stop the Rain. You guys did not know that Shaq and Biggie made a song together? Well, they did. You Can't Stop the Rain. That was the first and only time that Shaq collaborated with Biggie. Biggie's second verse from You Can't Stop the Rain was reused on Michael Jackson's song Unbreakable from Michael Jackson's last album, Invincible. The guest appearances on this album are from the Notorious B.I.G., the infamous Mobb Deep. We gonna get to them in a moment. Lord Tariq and Peter Guns, DJ Quick, Bobby Brown, Jay-Z, Ralph Tresvant, the God MC Rakim, Smooth B, one half of Nice and Smooth, and this R&B group called She. And Alicia Renee. What can I say? Shaq was 24 years old when he released his album. And at the time, he was signed with the Lakers. Yep. Don't forget, 1996, Shaq signed a deal with the Lakers. And of course, we can't forget about the late, great Kobe Bryant signing to the Los Angeles Lakers after being traded for the Charlotte Hornets. So looking back on this album 25 years later, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Shaq can rap. He raps better than any of these garbage ass rappers, mumbling rappers that we have today. I know a lot of people say that Shaq's music wasn't that good back then, but if they listen to his music now, they gonna realize he raps better than the mumbling rappers that we have today. "25 years since Shaq released his album, and he was only 24 years old. He released his first album when he was 21, Shaq Diesel. He was 22 when he released his second album, Shaq Fu The Return. And this was his third album. He only released like 4 albums. The 5th album was unreleased due to many delays. But I do want to thank the Shaq Diesel for 25. This is the only Shaq album that I have. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any more. But this is the only Shaq album that I have. It's obviously my favorite. And that same year, Kazam was released in theaters. So Shaq had a lot going on in 1996. He released this album, Kazam was released in theaters, and he got traded from the Orlando Magic to the Los Angeles Lakers. 1996 was definitely a big year for Shaq. My goodness. Now let's move on to the second album that's turning 25 today. And a subscriber, Hermit Samurai, requested me to review a hip-hop album that is turning 25 today. And here it is. Same day, November 19, 1996. Havoc and Prodigy, the infamous Mobb Deep, released their third album, Hell on Earth, under Loud Records and RCA Records. This album is largely a continuation of Mobb Deep's previous album, The Infamous. The album was produced by Havoc and Prodigy. Yep. Hell on Earth debuted at number 6 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the top R&B/hip hop albums chart and was certified gold. I feel like this album should have been certified platinum instead of gold. The duo's only platinum album was Murder Music. The 4 singles from the album: Still Shining, Drop a Gem on Them, Frontlines, Hell on Earth, and G.O.D. Father Part 3. Guest appearances from Method Man, Nas, Big Noyd, Raekwon, and the infamous Mobb. You guys know Drop a Gem on Him was a diss to Tupac. Now, before you guys get upset saying that Mobb Deep recorded and released the song after Tupac's death, just calm down and do your damn research, please. The duo recorded Drop a Gem on Him when Tupac was still alive, and the song was released as a single when Tupac was still alive. Due to Tupac's death, Mobb Deep pulled the song Drop a Gem on Him from being airplayed on the radio out of respect for Tupac and his family. And plans to make a music video out of the song was canceled too, due to the fact that the Hell on Earth album was released 2 months after Tupac's death. So, there you go. The song Drop a Gem on Him was made and released when Tupac was still alive. I like Drop a Gem on Him better than Hit 'Em Up, to be honest. Because Hit 'Em Up is a good diss track, but it had like way too many cuss words. And you want to know how many times Tupac said the word fuck or motherfucker? Over 30 times. So, to me, I like Drop a Gem on Them better than Hit 'Em Up. And in my opinion, Mobb Deep bodied Tupac in that Drop a Gem on Him song. Did Tupac respond? I doubt that he responded. But like I said, the Drop a Gem on Him song was released and made when Tupac was still alive. Both Havoc and Prodigy were 22 when they released this album. And I love the Infamous album, but to me, Hell on Earth has to be my favorite Mobb Deep album because this album was more darker than the Infamous album. I can't believe it's also been 25 years since Mobb Deep released his album. And this was back when Loud Records had artists like, Mobb Deep. Oh, Loud Records has been around for 30 years. And this was back when they had artists like Wu-Tang, Big Pun, Mobb Deep, M.O.P., The Beatnuts, Exhibit, Lil Flip, The Alcoholics, 3-6 Mafia, Twista, Dead Prez, etc. So, rest in peace to Prodigy. Salute to Havoc on 25 years of this classic album. Now we're about to go to the last hip-hop album that's now 25 years old. Same day, November 19th, 1996. Foxy Brown released her debut album, Il Nana, by Def Jam Records. The album had productions from Trackmasters, Teddy Riley, and the late Chris Lighty. Il Nana debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200 with 109,000 copies sold in its first week. And it debuted at number 2 on the top R&B/hip hop albums chart and was certified platinum. Good. I'm glad it was certified platinum. Foxy was the first female rap. This was the first female rap album to have certified plaques outside of the US. And the highest selling and fastest female rap album of 1996 to go platinum within 2 to 7 months. The 3 singles from the album are Get Me Home, which is a sample of Eugene Wilde's Gotta Get You Home With Me Tonight. Big Bad Mama, which is a sample of Carl Carlton's She's a Bad Mama Jamma. And I'll Be. See what song this is a sample of. No, I don't think I'll Be is a sample. I believe it had its own beat. Oh, it's a sample of Renee and Angela's I'll Be Good. If you listen to the hook. Guest appearances from Blackstreet, Havoc from the infamous Mobb Deep, Jay-Z, of course, Kid Capri, and Method Man. Guess how old Foxy was when she released her first album? She was 17 or 18 years old when she released her first album. She was still a minor when she released this album. She was either 17 or 18 when she was signed to Def Jam. So looking back on this album 25 years later, it's definitely a classic. This was back when female rappers like Foxy Brown had skills. Foxy Brown, Missy Elliott, The Brat, Lil Kim, etc. Back when female rappers had talent. Not like cunts like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and Iggy Azalea. And that also wanted me to ask this question. Where the hell Foxy Brown has been for the last 20 years? Y'all know it's been 20 years since Foxy Brown released her recent album, Broken Silence. And she has not released an album since 2001. 7 years after the release of Il Nana, she was planning to release the sequel in 2003 under Def Jam and Bad Boy, but the album release was canceled due to a disagreement between Foxy Brown and Puff Daddy. So I'm glad that she did not release an album under Bad Boy, because Puff Daddy would have treated her the way he treated his other artists that was signed to his label. So I'm glad that she did not release an album under Bad Boy. So I want to congratulate Foxy Brown on 25 years of this classic album, along with Mobb Deep and Shaq releasing their albums on the same day. Crazy. The next album to turn 25 next week is Keith Murray's Enigma, along with Michael Jackson's Dangerous album that will be 30. So that's going to wrap up my rant celebrating 25 years of the infamous Mobb Deep's Hell on Earth, Shaq's You Can't Stop the Rain, and Foxy Brown's Il Nana. And I hope you guys enjoyed my review of WWF SmackDown Just Bring It and my review of the Nintendo GameCube celebrating 20 years. When I was at work, I saw Colbert Awesome's rant celebrating 20 years of the Nintendo GameCube. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and leave your comment down below. Give me your thoughts about these 3 albums turning 25. And I'll be back later with my last rants that Mikey has been requesting me to do. Celebrating, reminiscing 20 years of Paul Heyman being fired by Vince McMahon from the November 19th, 2001 edition of Monday Night Raw. I'm about to go downstairs to get something to eat. So, happy 25th to Foxy Brown's Il Nana, the infamous Mobb Deep's Hell on Earth, and Shaq's You Can't Stop the Rain.